So today on the Galaxie, I'm going to fix the hole in the firewall where those air conditioning lines went through. And also, another thing about the radios. Just want to address that really quick. This radio here, 805 Road King said that that big metal capacitor in the back is probably the issue. And I've had a few other people tell me the same thing, but I may repair it in the future. We'll see. I'm still undecided what I'm going to do. I'd like to modernize the radio so on a road trip I can listen to a podcast, but the issue with the one that you plug in between the antenna, and it just has like a jack, like a stereo headphone jack coming out that you can like plug into into your gadget. But the thing is my gadget doesn't have a plug on it, so I kind of need like one that's Bluetooth. I don't want to have to horse with a wire hanging down and plugging it in. So I was looking at Bluetooth. They have ones that, I could get one like that and plug a Bluetooth adapter into, but that's just added mess. And so I think if I do it, I'm going to convert the radio. It's about $400. I can have that radio to where it still looks 100% factory original in the dash. Will still 100% play AM like it was originally designed, but yet be able to Bluetooth my phone to it so I can play music or podcasts or whatever. And that's kind of what I want to do. And so I think that maybe in the future, I can pull an instrument pod out and change the radio if I need to in the future. But for now, it's just the original AM's going back in the car. It works. And for all the cruising I do around here, that's perfect. And if I decide to hang on to the car for a while or decide to do road trips, or if a future owner wants to buy the car, wants the sound system upgraded, he can send the radio out and have it done, and I'll even put it in for him, install a radio. So, that's no big deal. But that's kind of where I'm at. I'm just not ready to fix that non-working radio yet, because I may send it out and have the innards changed in it, so it's modernize it a little bit. So that's kind of what I'm looking to do if I do anything. But anyway, let's get to fixing this hole where those air conditioning lines for the firewall went through the firewall there for that original underdash AC unit the car had when I bought it. That hole right there, and that was originally a knockout, and I made a little pattern out of cardboard. Now the inside of the car, I had someone hold this under the hood, and I traced it from sitting inside the car. So there's an insulation pad around here where they cut to get the lines through. They cut an area out, which is no big deal, but the heater plenum is like right here. And I'm going to use panel adhesive. I'll show you what I'm going to use to glue it in. This is what I'm going to use, and it comes with a couple of these, and you can buy these tips separately. They're like a pack of 10. So, and this bonding adhesive at the paint shop is where I get this at GNC Paint Center. And this stuff is really strong, and it bonds to a lot of stuff. But and it takes a special gun to dispense it. And these guns aren't cheap, so that kind of gives you an idea what I'm going to dispense it with. But being that this is for bonding body panels, it should bond this no problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out of my cardboard template and make that out of sheet metal. And then I'm going to take this and trace it back onto cardboard, and then put a little larger border around it. And then I'm going to adhere this to the piece that fits in the car. I'll have to make it so when it fits, it doesn't hit anything when this is... Maybe I'll just bond the piece in behind first, and then I'll bond that, and that way it'll be more flush even with here and look like a knockout. If I bond it in there, it's going to, an oval piece, bigger piece, and don't have it come out. So that's why I'm going to use two pieces of sheet metal. One's going to fit the opening perfect, and then that's going to be bonded to sheet metal. That's going to be bonded just inside the edge there. My fingertip is on this part of my finger is on the heater plenum. You can see the heater. I don't know if it shows up, but the heater plenum is right there. So I got to, you know, I'm just going to make it so it all fits together and looks nice. So it looks like an original factory knockout. And that panel adhesive should do that just fine. And that's what I'm going to use on this. And one other project I'm going to use it on. So I have this old 1955 Cooper Cyclomo. My grandfather bought this thing brand new, and I have the original engine and everything. I've showed it in past videos, and my dad, I had it up to the cottage, and my dad would take it over to the house there to mow, and, you know, we kind of carted it back and forth, but it was left behind the truck, and somebody got in the truck and kind of backed over it and smashed, broke the deck. And we tried to TIG weld it, but this metal just doesn't TIG weld, so I'm going to get some aluminum to glue underneath there, and I'm going to use panel adhesive, and I'm going to fill that and grind it all out so it all looks correct again, and I'm going to bead blast this and repaint it. I cannot find, this was originally like a wrinkle paint, and I can't find that anymore. I was in you used to be able to buy it. You'd paint it on and then heat it with like a heat gun, you know, and crinkle up. And so I can't find crinkle paint anywhere. So if anyone knows where there's crinkle paint, I need some red, because I'm going to totally restore this little mower before I take it back up to the cottage. The original little Briggs & Stratton starts 3 poles, it's always running, so we got to get it going. And the little Briggs & Stratton leaked oil between the, you know, where the gasket was between the base of the engine and the crankcase. So I got new gasket for the engine, so I'm going to fix that too while the engine's off. But yeah, when I'm done with this, I want it to look like brand new, so that's on my agenda when I use this to fix that and that. Now I probably won't make a video of this, but you know, I may be gluing it, but I'm not going to make a video of restoring it. Another thing I picked up was some more clamp ends. I want to make 2 more jumper wires. So I'll probably use 12 or 14 gauge, probably 14 gauge for what I'll use these for. I'll make the wire probably about 6 feet long, 6-8 feet long. And if I have 12 gauge, I'll use 12. If I don't, I'll use 14. But I'll put both black ends on one wire, both on a red ones on a wire, just like a mini pair of jumper cables, just for like jumping thing, you know, like here if I'm going off the battery to something, or on a car from the battery to something, or, you know, and they can always be clipped to smaller clips. And anyway, yeah, so that's, I'm gonna make another set of those jumper wires. My other ones, I had a pair with these, and I can't find them, so somebody must have borrowed them and never returned them, so we'll make a new set. I made a little panel to go in that hole, and it fits it pretty darn good. I made one, and it would have left a big gap, so I made another one, and then I just, you know, dressed it up. I cut it out rough with tin snips and just dressed it up on my belt sander, and just kept kind of fussing with it until it fit here. And then actually, I can put it right in through the hole, straight through like that, if I just kind of play with it a moment or two to get all the edges lined up. But it fits in there pretty darn good. And so I'm going to cut a piece maybe a 1/4 inch bigger around than that, same shape. And then I'm going to glue that in there that this will glue to. So this will look like the original knockout that was there. So all said and done, that's what it'll look like. This will be in the car. You won't see this up in the dash, and the pad goes over it, and then this will be glued to that. So this will be what you see, like I was holding it with the magnet. That fits pretty good up in there where it has to go. So I think that'll do the job, and I'm not worried about that bonding adhesive. You know, they hold door panels on cars with that stuff, so it's not gonna give out that bonding adhesive. But that's how I'm gonna fix that hole in the firewall. Seeing I want to do everything at once as far as this gluing, I was making these pieces to fix where we tried to TIG it. This, you know, this old magnesium aluminum alloy is not just a welded up type of metal, and you really need it in a bubble of argon. But anyway, this panel adhesive I think is going to do the job, and I'm going to put this little piece back here too, and I might even put a couple of little screws or popper bits through to hold the, you know, like this. But I got it clamped up, and you know, I'll put the adhesive on it and then clamp it, and then the other side I'm not going to put anything like this in. I'm going to use the maybe the adhesive or maybe some like, what is that, you know, that two-part stuff you squeeze. I don't know, I have some of it around here somewhere. You put it out of a tube and it mixes it, liquid steel, or anyway, I'll use something like that to fix there to where I can Dremel it out and sand it and file it so it looks correct. And the front of the mower has been missing here for like probably since I've had it. I've had this mower since, God, I've had it probably 40 years. My grandpa bought it brand new, like I say, in 1955. And it's still all, I had to replace this wheel. That got broken too. And when it got backed into, so I'll paint it, you know, like I say, just take it all apart and paint it all up and be done with it. There's a lot of pits, you know, but I'm not gonna, I don't know, I probably won't fix this, but I might. The little piece that goes in here, it came across even with the front of that, and then it went around there, I guess. I can't find another deck. I looked for another deck like this, and they're just not, they don't exist. But anyway, this is a perfect mower for the little lawn up the cottage. We mow it maybe twice a year, and it takes about 15-20 minutes to do it. And I'm really kind of, you know, like this old mower. You know, it's been, like I say, my grandpa bought it new, you know. It's just, I like old machinery, so 1955 lawnmower is kind of fun to mow the grass with up there. But this, I've left it all original all these years, but now that I got to repair it, I will paint it up somewhat. But I don't know if I'm going to go all out and fix all the mower deck damage or not. That's going to remain, that if I do, that'll be in the future. I want to get this fixed while I got the panel adhesive. This is structural. This really isn't, you know, it's got plenty of meat to hold that front wheel on still. So, and it's been like that, like I say, for 30 years. I use this, I had 44 acres, and I used to mow about a couple acres and did all the trimming with this. So yeah, it's, and then when I moved to Savannah, I didn't use it anymore. So that's when my dad asked if he could take it up north, because we used just to use a weed whip up there, and the mower just made it a lot easier. But anyway, I'm going to finish kind of putzing with this so I can, you know, get all this gluing done. All right, I'm going to call it quits for the night. I think I think I'll glue this side, let it cure, and then I'll turn it over and then do the other side after the fact. We'll see. Maybe I'll do it all at the same time. But anyway, I'm going to call it quits. Got quite a bit done today. I'm happy with where I'm at. This has been here since about the summer before last, when this thing got backed over. Last summer, I just used the string trimmer to do all the mowing up there at the bunkhouse. And so we'll get that fixed up, and this glued in, and this mirror done, hopefully in the next couple of 2 or 3 days. And then we'll move on to changing the dash pad. I'll clean up the wiring harnesses and all under the dash first, and we'll get the new, you know, I'll get the old dash pad off, and then I'll clean everything up and get it ready to put a new one on. I don't know if I'm going to have to do any painting or not on the dash, but I definitely got to paint this. So hopefully we don't end up with paint reactions on this like we did that other piece. I think I'll just end up doing this with the gun with the smoothie. I'll have to get some flattener for my... In fact, you know, I got some lacquer. Maybe I want it to be dull. I don't want it reflecting on the windshield. I don't want it gloss black. So I may... I got plenty of lacquer over here. So that's all. Everything down in those gallon jugs is lacquer. There's 4 gallons of it there. So I can, if need be, I can do it with that. So, all right. So I'm going to wrap this video up. It may be, you know, not much, you know, to it, but just keep you in the loop what I'm getting done on the Galaxie. So if you like the video, you know, hit the like button. Share my videos if there's particular ones you really like. And if you like my channel, subscribe to it by hitting that 348 engine icon that pops up there. And thank you for watching my videos.